Welcome back to Cinephellas. I am Kevin, and I'm here to talk about a new movie, not something off someone with Kevin. This is a movie starring Nicolas Cage, and it's called The Surfer. Before I talk about a little more, let's take a look at a clip.
That's a good one.
In The Surfer, Nick Cage plays a guy named The Surfer. He has his sights on a house right on the beach. It's a beautiful view. It's something that it seems that he has been yearning for his entire life. In his head, he feels that if he gets this house, he will basically mend the relationship between both his wife and his son that seems a little bit shaky based upon the little evidence that we see. Now, the conflict arises when he is there, and there are a group of surfers led by a man named Scally, played by Julian McMahon, who terrorize him and risk his dream of owning this house, of going away and not happening. The surfer guys have a very mob mentality. It's not only with Nicolas Cage. Anyone who is not part of their group is basically asked to leave, at first in a very polite way, and then if you don't leave, they will basically gang up on you and beat you up and make you leave there a little bit bloody. Um, Paige tries in the movie to try to take the high route and reason with them, but of course they have very mob mentality. And the further the movie goes on, you see that this little surfer club is kind of like a fight club, if you want to think about it like that. And they start to mess with him really badly. Everything that you probably would think Project Mayhem would do if they lived on the beach instead of in the city, they do to Cage. They basically ruin his life one step at a time. And most of all, they make him go insane. And this is where the movie basically falls into the typical style of the weirdness that Nick Cage movies are known for. And Cage is brought into these type of movies to basically put even more energy into it. And if you've seen any of his movies, sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Unfortunately, in this instance, it doesn't work. And this movie is a little bit of a slog to get through. I was kind of let down on this one because I've been a fan of the last few Nick Cage movies that he just goes absolutely bonkers in and he does his thing. But this one kind of missed the mark. This is the definition of a B movie. But the narrative becomes really messy and unfocused at points, with the film just making it seem like they're trying to just go for like an overly weird kind of style. I will give credit the two areas that this movie takes place in, which is mostly the beach and the parking lot right next door to the beach. Those are two of the main stages, and I think the director used it very well. The director is Ron Finnegan, who made the 2019 movie Vivarium starring Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg. That movie was very weird, and I liked it, and because it had a little more substance to it, that weirdness paid off in the end. Here, it's just the weirdness keeps flying at you minute by minute, and there's really not that good of a story here. It's kind of shallow. I'm not going to say some of the stuff that they do to him is a little bit darkly comedic, but I thought the story was lacking, and where it winds up, you would have to be very nonchalant or maybe first time watching a movie to be surprised by that. It was very predictable, in my opinion. Recently, we lost Julian McMahon, who I said plays Scally. He is kind of the leader of this ragtag group of surfer misfits. Julian McMahon played Doctor Doom in the 2005 and 2007 version of the Fantastic Four. And for you guys who watch a lot of TV, he was one of the leads on Nip Tuck, a show that I kind of watched here and there, but I really don't know that much about. I thought he was very good in this film. He is more relatable and calm than the surfer followers. He will basically smile at you and say, "Hey, you want to leave here? These guys are capable of a lot. Why don't you just be a good guy and just kind of, get out of here?" And he does it with a smile, but there is a sinisternness under that smile. I actually watched this movie a few days before it was announced that he passed away. He is an Australian actor, and I feel that Australian actors, you have Jai Courtney, Mel Gibson, they always have this ability to tap into something that It's very sinister, but very darkly comedic. And I thought Julian McMahon was great in this film, and it's a very fun and devious performance. And rest in peace, Julian. The Surfer is a niche movie. You may basically connect with it. I didn't really buy it that much, as I'm explaining. While I did find parts of it interesting, and it is very beautiful to look at, the imagery and the filters used on this film, it's very vivid. The colors pop, and it adds to the insanity that Nick Cage goes through. But again, it's all surface level, and I thought the story was kind of lacking. But if you are a fan of Nick Cage or Julian McMahon, you want to see him in his final film, because this is Julian McMahon's final film. I looked it up on IMDb. Give this one a try, but I don't know. I'm gonna give this one 2.5 out of 5. Rest in power, Julian McMahon hair pieces. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you thought this movie was great. You bought it what it was going for. Let me know. Or maybe you agree with me and you're like, oh, this one was kind of a miss. Come to the website, cinephellas.com. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube, where we are basically always keeping up with the latest in movies, TV, and video games. And again, guys, thanks for watching. I always enjoy doing stuff like this for you guys, letting you know what's out there. And as we say on this site, I am Kevin Muller, and cheers.